Okay, we're gonna get right into it because you guessed it, I am continuing with the toner sheets. We're gonna be using this paper collection. This is the Lemon Flower, one of my favorites. It has some beautiful pattern papers in it. And we're gonna use the purple foil that I just showed you. We're gonna start with the A plate, C plate, and then we're gonna put down the yellow sheet that I chose and the Hexagon Hive Thin Lit die from Stampin' Up. And we're just gonna run this through real quick. And I always like to go through once and then just reverse it to have it, you know, make sure that it presses really well. So real quick, I'm going to punch all my pieces out. Now, while I'm off camera, just for a quick second, I want to give you a great piece of advice. If you have double-sided tape, remember to put it on the paper before you die cut it. And I believe you can do the same thing with the toner paper, especially if you use Stick It, because it's super thin anyway. So with the toner paper and the Stick It, it's still going to cut through it. But the only reason why I suggest it is because if you do it that way, you'll automatically have adhesive behind your pieces that you press out. So when you go to create this card, it will be a lot easier for you. Okay, so I ran it through twice, once on the toner sheet and once with the pattern paper. Real quick, I'm just gonna heat up my Minc, and this time I'm gonna show you guys when you get the Minc, it does, with the mini, they give you a 6x6 transfer sheet. It's the clear piece that I have on my left side. With that, all you have to do is I cut the piece of foil to cover, make sure it covers my entire piece that I want foiled. And once I have it cut out, you want to put it on top of the toner sheet with the pretty foil sticking up, and then you run it through. And like I said, I have it on 3. You can test it out if you want to do 4, if you need it a little bit hotter. And I find with the Minc, it gets hotter on top to me than it does on the bottom. So that's why I don't have it on a board right here at the moment. I just wanted to kind of heat it up, get it going, run this through, so then that way, you know, I could get this put together. And I did run it through twice on the 3. I think the next time if I do something like that, especially a full sheet, I may just heat it up to 4 to make sure it's nice and hot. So once it comes out this time, I go ahead and open this up, and we're gonna pull it back and show you the magic. I am in love with this foiling. Where has it been all my life? Alright, now there are a few pieces that I wanted to take from that the pieces that punched out of the die cut piece that I wanted to have some purple on it. So I'm laying them down, and I was trying to do a full line, but I couldn't get it to lay right and then keep the piece of foil on it. So I think I wound up doing like either 3 or 4, and I was able to get those to go through. And then at some point, I want to say not long after this, I'm going to try and use some of the purple foil in the center. Do not throw this paper away, okay? If there's still open purple areas, then you can use that. You could cut it down small, do a little heart and foil that, you know what I mean? So I find with the foil sheets, unless you just have so much that you're overflowing in scraps of foil, keep it, because you never know what you might want to, you know, cut out and just use a little bit of foil. So right here is where I was talking about. I was trying to line it up. I thought, well, let me put it on the inside of my transfer sheet and try and line them up. But as soon as I go to close the transfer page together, they move on me, and that was getting pretty annoying. So I want to say at this moment, once I realized like I'm still trying to get them all lined up. When I go to move them and they're still moving, I'm going to show you how it keeps moving. It's shifting because it's slippery paper, you know. But I was trying real hard to like keep it together, and as soon as I moved, see it, they started shifting. So I was like, forget it. We'll just work with what we got. We're going to go ahead and turn off the Minc and then set it aside. So once I attached the purple foil to my project, I decided to take the yellow pieces and I wanted to fill them in, but there were going to be a few places together that I was going to leave the purple foil, and I wanted to pop it up so that it would have like a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm just showing you, see how I'm having to tape each individual piece with my ATG gun to get it in, and if you use the stick it tape, it would already be done. Now I had some spots that were messed up, and I want to say that happened because when I went to put my Finlet, the actual shape down, I sprayed adhesive it from the back, like I did a tacky glue from spray on the back of it, and because I wet it almost, I think, a little too much, it kind of ruined certain spots. But instead of covering it up with this piece of purple like I'm doing right here, sorry about that if you heard my cat, I decided to go a different way. So this is the foil, and at the end here I'm going to show you what I did. So after adding the sentiment, I added sequins strategically all around the card, so that way if there was any spots that weren't quite to my liking, they're covered by the sequins. I hope you guys really like this. I'm enjoying the foil so much, and it's probably not going to be on our next video, but we will be using it again. Alright you guys, have a good one.